Okay, so we're back now. I got the washer out. This time I've found a little bit of butyl tape, and I'm gonna put a little butyl tape on the back of this washer, so that'll never happen again. I had to get a strong magnet to help me pull it out. Basically what I want to do is I want to make sure that it doesn't fall back down in there again. So I'm going to locate the threads and let it ski down and stick it on. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to calculate exactly where the threads are going to land, because once I put the bolt in there I'm kind of blind and I can only go by feel. Like I said, if you push too hard you're going to push that T-nut out of its locator, and then you're going to have to pull the whole door panel back off, so you don't want to do that. You want to take your time right here, locate the T-nut, yeah, I think I finally got it there. I had to babysit it for a little while, but I think it finally went. The top one seems a little bit more sturdier than the bottom one. So once I feel pretty confident that I've got threads, and I know I have threads there. Oh yeah, I definitely have threads down here as well. I'll go ahead and finalize the door. And what I'm doing now is I'm just holding up on the door just a little bit so I can see the forward bolt. That way I'm not off when I go to offer that bolt to its hole. Okay, so your Allen and tighten it up pretty snug. Lotuses are notorious for rattles. You want to make sure that everything's good and snug. Okay, now we're ready for the forward bolt. 3mm Allen wrench. My door panel's down just a little bit, so I'll offer a little bit of rise to it. I'm gonna have to go back and loosen a little bit. I should have known better. Yep, now we're ready. Just like everything in life, you want to make sure all the bolts are started before you tighten any of them up, I guess. really snug on the front. Let me grab my camera, I want to show you that. So basically you've got that bolt there. Don't worry about these two bolts. They're just holding on this actual panel here. So this is where the air conditioning will come into. Be careful with it too. You can easily pull it off of its mount. And also note the 12 o'clock location for the screw and the 3 o'clock location for the screw. You'll be using those here in just a second. So now I want to go back and retighten the 6mm Allens. Okay, so everything's tight. We want to get now the vent piece. So basically we want to make sure that it's seated in its position. Also note that 12 and 3 o'clocks are going to need to be lined up with their holes for the grommet. So they're a little off right here. We'll rotate it around. That should be close enough for government work. Now what I do is I put the trees in first. You locate those on the back side. You're gonna get close, see, top, bottom. It's gonna have to be by feel. So also there's two other locators. One's gonna be locating at the top and one at the 3 o'clock position. Now that 3 o'clock position is hard to see because it's surrounded by leather right there, right there. So all four of those are gonna have to go together at the same time. So this is where it's okay to pull your trees back a little bit, even take them out if you want, and let them hit the floor. Then get your locators together and push your piece home. Now's a good time before you put your trees in to go ahead and grab the two screws, and the two screws and a regular Phillips head. That way you can rotate the boot if you need to a little bit, okay? So it's gonna be difficult for me to do this with one hand, so let me put the camera down. Okay, as you can see, I've got my screw through the rubber. Now I want to put the rubber screw in. Okay, so I'll start it by hand. And then I'll bring my screwdriver in and start a couple threads. Don't finalize it yet because you still got some work to do up top. Same thing. Peel the boot back. You're going to see the first layer. Peel it back in such a way that you can see all of it. I'm going to get over here to where you can see. Okay. I'm going to start the tightening process. You don't have to go crazy tight here because it'll frap the rubber out if you go too tight. You see it starting to frap out. So if you do a little bit on one, a little bit on the other, you'll have better results. But if you just go hog wild, you're either going to bury the screw through the rubber or you're going to frap the rubber out and start twisting it. Okay, So now you want to take the trees and push them back in their home position here. Just offer one up to the bottom. And one to the top. Proper. So everything turned out real nice. It's all flushed up and looking good. So when that meets this rubber, we'll have a good seal there. Air conditioning vent still operable, so everything's good. And we want to double check inside the vent as well to make sure that we are sealing, and it looks like it's sealed off pretty good in there. Okay. So there's two more steps. One, we're gonna have to offer back up our door trim piece, and I've wrapped mine in carbon vinyl. But you can see that they take a little bit of abuse. The plastic clips do not like, or the metal clips do not like that plastic. So be careful when you're lining this back up. You want to make sure that you get this right, because if you're cramming it on the wrong spot, it's never going to seal properly. Okay, there we go. So if it's nice and snug, and you'll know if you don't have it right. It won't go back on there. And then we want to put our lock pin back down in its barrel. Like I said at the beginning, don't worry about getting it all the way seated home. We're going to take it down a good 20 turns maybe, or something like that. A little bit of freedom, so it's not binding. Okay, and then next will be my rivets on the bottom. I'm going to carry my camera down with me this time. I'm going to show you these holes. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 right below the speaker grill, and so they're pretty simple how this works. You basically just install the base, and then you install the rivet. Now it'll only go one way. It's keyed, so you'll have to do a little twist, but once it finds its location, it will easily seat home, and then you just push it, and then it locks in. And so it takes 5 of those, and we'll be completed with the Lotus Evora window motor removal and installation. And this could be done in about an hour's time, maybe a little less if you don't run into these snags. Like I said, if your window's at the bottom and it's stuck, that can usually cause you some problems. Again, I'm sorry for my poor photography today. I do want to give you an idea of what's involved with these though. Okay, so everything's back in position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now those push pins, they're available on eBay. You can get them from Can-Am. That's also the same clip that Can-Am uses. Polaris uses the same clip, so you can source those clips just about anywhere. If you'll notice, the door gap just isn't perfect for this. It never has been, but it makes it up on the outside out here because it really fits nicely down. But I think they left this open for a possible drain. I don't know why they cut that the way they did, but anyway, that's the way it fits. So Anyway, now we go through the process of setting so we want to set the windows now. Now the window, you can see as it's sitting in the car, has just a little bit protruding out of the door frame. That's it in its fully lowest position. It's the same on the driver's side. But what we're going to do next is we're going to set the auto drop feature for this door because it is not set yet. Okay, so what we'll do now is we'll get into the car. We'll take the key, we'll put it in ignition. Take it to the on position. Make sure your car's out of gear. If it's an automatic, just push neutral. And if you'll notice, the driver's door, it'll actually raise up once it goes in, and then as it opens, it drops. So easier to see from the outside. But what we'll do is we'll raise the motor up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds. I'm holding up. Lower it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds holding it down. So now when I roll the window up, I'm going to go outside and we're going to see if the auto drop feature works. The key does not have to be on for that to happen. It'll work whether the key's in the ignition switch or not. Now you'll see my door close and you'll see the window go up. It only rises about 3/8 of an inch. So we're working good on this side. Now we'll go to the passenger side and see if it works too. So you can tell it's fully up right now at this position. Everything looks good and the foot is exactly where it needs to be. Like I said before, if you don't have the track in the right way, the window will want to lean out just a little bit right here. So you'll have to make sure that your track is located inside the door properly. There's even adjustments on the lower portion of the track, and you can actually tilt this window in or out depending on your body and if the door alignments are off or anyway. My door alignment's just perfect from the factory, so it's never been monkeyed with. But anyway, let's see if the auto drop feature works. Oh, and it does. Did you see it drop? Yeah, it's great. And there it goes back up again. So falls down fine and goes up. Okay, this has been the how-to from Play-Doh. Thank you. Hope you enjoy this video. I hope it helps you out, and I hope it explains a lot about the door motor and mechanism. All right, thank you.